for eternity. And then how do you go back? Like, this is a wonderful piece of land, and I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't have a clear idea in mind, but if you can think of this as being more like almost an artistic project, and it's a process in itself, and you can think about how can we pick something that is flexible, that can evolve over time and maybe take a step back and take a 2 steps forwards. And I don't know, I'm not sure, that's not a very clear answer, but maybe there are different ways of doing this, having those two concepts in mind.
No, I think that's fabulous. I do think that's a good message. I really do. So Tyler, to wrap up the question, given what you've heard from the other panelists, what opportunities do you see for combining all of your fields of expertise in the design of Lot 5?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea to, be able to work in kind of a temporary way, move forward 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 7 steps sideways. It's interesting. If I had maybe $7,000, I would do a small thing down there, and maybe we get one shipping container or whatever, and we do something inside it, and we figure out between the 3 of us, kind of in collab, we kind of like hold community workshop or whatever, and we figure out like we kind of experiment with that process. We go like, well, what is that process that kind of engages the community to like actually build something? And then you're like, oh, let's actually go about building something, and we'll have like 2 building block elements plus a little pocket of cat that then you go, okay, well, this is the kind of space, and this is our community. Who are we, and what do we do with this? And to kind of put something together and see what sort of possibility there might be. I think the sandbox idea, when it's a temporary thing and not in this like encased, you saw the drawing. It's disgusting the way that they proposed the volleyball court in their overall thing. But when it was like, yeah, hey, you know what? We got $140,000, which is pretty sweet. We're going to make volleyball courts with 140 grand. That's kind of awesome. But like, and that's one thing that could be done, and I don't mind them doing it. Like, I think it's perfectly cool they do that. But why don't they spit off, 10 grand, upping the number a little bit, but to kind of empower a process that's like kind of a community-based participatory art project that is functional, and so asking what core functions are interesting to us. How do we go about developing that? Do we use consensus-based decision-making models? Do we call an expert and just go with it? And whatever the expert said, do that. And that's valid too. That's one of like a plethora of processes. But and so I would see heavy integration of what you guys spoke about in that. Now I run a cafe, and I'm just going to tangent here. I apologize. But right now, my refrigerators, which I want to transition out of, we talked about that earlier. But my refrigerators are producing heat right now.
Yeah. And
my cafe doesn't need that heat right now, but it will need it tomorrow.
Yeah. So you gotta see what you're
go with it. But that kind of, I think that kind of legitimate question, and the reason I ask that is because that's a real, very practical problem out of which a conversation can be engaged and a process could be instigated that would then produce something interesting that people would then go, oh, and it might be even boring in the background, but it would still make people go, oh, once they found out about it. And like, so how much contemporary art do you guys look at and go like, I don't get it? There's some kind of backstory that makes it wildly interesting for the 4 people who get it, but if you're not there, you don't get it. And so like that sounds like your job. Your job's like contemporary art. You're making these obscure expressions that nobody understands and most people never look at, right? And then, but they're wildly interesting to the 6 people who happen to know.
I love it, Tyler. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, is there anyone who has any other questions for our panelists? I know we've covered a lot tonight. Thank you so much for your patience, and I'd like to thank our 3 panelists this evening for sticking it out.
Can I make one quick question? Do you have business cards? I got to, with you or contact information?
I can get
Perfect.
that.
And Emily wants to make an announcement. I assume it's about your poster.
Yes, I put a poster up on the bottom right-hand corner called Table Matters. So on November 22nd, we're having a really super fun event. It's at City Hall. There's going to be live music and food. It's free. And it's going to be a dialogue on the role that food plays in our community. Very similar to kind of like what we're talking about today. Like, essentially, the end result of the conversations will be a food charter, which is a policy document. Wah, wah. But there's a really all of those background conversations that go into making that policy document really valuable and relevant to the community of the North Shore is really important. So we're looking for, like, we want as diverse a collection of folks there as possible. You have to only enjoy eating food, really, to be able to participate in the conversation.
Emily, is it during the day?
It's not. It's an evening. It's 5:30 to 9. And you can, if you need to leave early or arrive late, that's fine. And there'll be food. And Barbara Adler is playing music, and she's fantastic. She's super cool.
Is it on your website?
It's on our website.
Perfect.
And I will leave cards. And we're in the BC Hydro Community Champions Contest, and we need people to vote for us until December 7th. So if you go to our website, all the info is there.
Okay.
And we'll win $10,000 for our children's elementary school program, which would be really
Can
exciting.
you vote more than once? I'm good at
You
voting.
can only vote once a day.
Once
Once a day?
Once a day,
Okay.
from now until December 7th.
Excellent.
Yes. I'll send you daily reminders.
Tony, do you have any polls?
Can't rig a community competition. I think that's
November 22nd, 5:30.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Wonderful.
And I wish there were more of the city here to hear some of what you guys had to say, because it's sort of
This
It's
is one of our
key.
best events
Absolutely.
as far as
Content, stimulation,
and you know, community,
creativity.
that feeling, and all I can say is, where's the money? Okay, that's the biggest thing is who has the money to get this going?
it's there. It's there. They can go
Yeah.
Well, the
volleyball
city
courts
will
with it.
part.
Well, if there's a volleyball court, then they're totally going to need kale and spinach smoothies to keep them going, and those can be run by bicycle hour blenders, and we could have a little cute container with.
We have little kids riding bikes, so get the.
Yeah, well, so thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
How
It's much
exciting.
appreciated
Thank
your
you, guys.
participation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tyler.
No.
Yes. Much appreciated. Thanks everybody for coming out and submit some competition submissions.
Oh, and
And
there's
coffee
food at the
and food at the back. Help yourself before you leave.